I'm Jeff Fischel. Before we get to my power poll, let's do a power poll of a different sort. Who is the ACC Player of the Year? Some of the contenders: the incumbent, Heisman Trophy winner Jameis Winston. How about the ball hawk, the Cards' Gerard Holloman? Or maybe the Duke of Coral Gables, Duke Johnson. And let's not forget the ultimate power back, Pittsburgh's James Conner. So, who is your Player of the Year? Tweet me your vote at Jeff Fischel. I have some great tweets already. Jeffrey says, as a U of L fan, I have seen both Duke and Winston. Mine would be for Winston by a mile. Jake wrote me Sunday, Conner gets my vote, was an absolute beast yesterday for a Pitt team that wouldn't be able to win without him. So coming up, I tally your votes and compare your top 5 to mine. Now, on to the power poll. Syracuse and Wake Forest still 13 and 14. Virginia Tech dating back to last year. The Hokies have lost 5 straight conference games at home. That is unthinkable. 11. The Pack. Farrell McKeever's pick 6 in the Dome. It's a must-see moment, and it gets Dave Doran his first ever ACC win. The Pharaoh leading his people out of the desert of conference winlessness. Let my Wolfpack go. Wait, am I getting that story wrong? One NC State fan votes for Wolfpack punter Will Bauman for Player of the Year. Duh. Hey, remember, punters are people too. UVA is down to 10 and Florida State is waiting next. That's not good. Tar Heels at 9. The Carolina defense allowed Miami to rack up 494 yards Saturday, and that actually lowered their yards per game allowed average. 8 is Pitt. The Panthers, you move up despite a loss to Duke because, let's face it, you should have won. I don't want to rehash how you ended up on the right hash for that field goal attempt at the end of regulation. Another vote for James Conner as Player of the Year from Ryan. Gotta be Conner. Guy runs against 9 in the box constantly and still rushes for a ton of yards and TDs. He sure does. He leads the nation in rushing. Another Player of the Year candidate has BC at 7, Tyler Murphy. Remember, you thought BC was in big trouble after losing 2,000-yard rusher Andre Williams and 4-year starting QB Chase Reddick, remember? Well, Murphy is doing both jobs and has the Eagles bowl eligible. 6, Miami and Duke Johnson. Armando says, if anyone but Duke is the Player of the Year, there should be a federal investigation. He is number 1 in the ACC and 2nd in the nation in all-purpose yards. 5, Georgia Tech. 4, Duke. And no, I'm not dropping Louisville after the loss to Florida State. They stay at 3. Okay, so what about a Player of the Year surprise? At 2, Clemson. What if Deshaun Watson had not gotten hurt? What if he comes back and dominates against Georgia Tech and South Carolina too? Oh, what if? And number 1, Florida State, with the reigning Player of the Year, Jameis Winston. Even an Auburn fan who has a right to be bitter votes Jameis. Quote, dude has won on the road twice after trailing and his money in crisis. So there's 1 through 14, some shuffling at the bottom. I still need to do more research, I guess, on that Pharaoh metaphor. The top 7 all stay the same. The Cards stay at 3 despite the loss. The Blue Devils stay at 4, though they should have lost. All right, now let's compare the Player of the Year voting. Your top 5. The Clemson D gets a lot of love. Various names mentioned. That D has been fantastic. Then Justin Thomas, Holloman, Jameis, and Duke is number 1. My top 5. Holloman, Conner, Jameis, Tyler Murphy 2, and Duke number 1. Do you still want to debate Player of the Year or the Power Poll? Tweet me at Jeff Fischel. And check out Clinton Portis this week on the ACC DN. CP's top 3 this week. His top 3 Player of the Year candidates. He's a smart man. I'm sure he'll agree with me. You're watching the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.